Market Rebels and Renegades 2023, and I have the good fortune of sitting down here with one of the artists that's playing, J.D. Clayton. J.D. Clayton, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me, Mark.
Thanks for spending time with us. So, tell the listeners a little bit about you.
Yeah. So, I was born and raised in Fort Smith, Arkansas. My dad was a real estate agent turned preacher. My mom was a interior decorator that turned into a oil painter. And so, I just grew up in a very normal middle-class family in western Arkansas. When I was, starting college, I kind of got the bug and wanted to get into music and formed a little band with a buddy that I met in a music appreciation class. Started playing at the local Starbucks, and just kind of started to grow. I learned how to write songs, started recording music. I would leave like Friday morning at 5 a.m., drive to Nashville, record, and then try to get back for class by Monday morning. And then I learned a lot in that time. The song you were referencing earlier, Brown Hair, Blue Eyed Baby, that was one of the first tunes that I wrote, and I put that out my senior year of college. I guess that was 2018. Finally decided I was going to make the move to Nashville, and my wife and I, after she graduated, we moved. I guess that was 2019. Shortly after we moved, COVID hit. I ended up going to work for a landscape company and really started writing songs, and just kind of was desperate to get out of, to try to make it in music, and I guess COVID kind of drove me to that.
COVID changed a lot of things for a lot of people, but it also, I think for a lot of musicians, gave them a different way of presenting their music to the world as well.
Yeah.
Right? All of a sudden you're doing stuff online. Did you do any of that?
Yeah, a little bit. Not as much as I probably should have. I'm always one of these guys that's hesitant to post to, all the social media platforms that my management kind of has to hit me over the head.
They got to do that for you.
Yeah.
You said, no, I want to be a songwriter.
That's right. So I just basically out of desperation and trying to I was stuck in this landscape company. It was me and, 4 dudes from Mexico, 2 guys from El Salvador, and 2 guys from the Dominican Republic planting trees. And here, I had a college degree. I was 500 miles away from home, hadn't seen my folks in almost a year, and I was just, really tore up. And so I finally had about 10 songs I had written, and I quit the landscape company that day and called a producer and said, hey man, I need you to set aside 2 weeks. I'm going to record an album. And I recorded Long Way From Home, and I put that out this year, 2023, in January. After it just basically I wrote the album and then started sending it around to people in town, trying to see if anybody would want to work with me, and ended up meeting some folks at William Morris, and a couple months later they signed me, and then sent the album over to Red Light Management, and a couple months later they signed me, and since summer of 2022 I've done close to over 150 shows across the U.S. trying to share music and grow and trying to work the tail off.
Well, so far you're doing pretty good. So where were you before Rebels and Renegades?
We have been on tour with Brent Cobb. We started in Ashland, Kentucky last Friday night with Cole Chaney, and then we played Rogers, Arkansas, and then played Santa Fe, New Mexico. That was our first night with Brent Cobb, Santa Fe, New Mexico. And then we've been just touring through California with him for the last week leading up to this festival. So we did the Troubadour. I've never been to California before, so...
Iconic place to play.
Unbelievable. Yeah, pretty cool to be driving into California for your first time and pulling up to the Troubadour to play a show. That's, I guess, how you do it.
Well, when you think at the Troubadour, Graham Parsons played at the Troubadour.
Right.
The Byrds played at the... And you just
legends.
keep on legends.
James Taylor, Elton John, John Lennon. I mean, yeah, it was one of the greatest nights. I think. I mean, I'm speaking on behalf of my boys, the band, but we had a great time. It was unbelievable.
What are you doing after Rebels and Renegades?
We've got a 3-day drive back to Arkansas, and we play in Oxford, Mississippi on Thursday night. And we start the next leg.
It goes on and goes on and goes on.
That's right.
Anything that you're working on now musically?
Yeah, we've already. So we started. We were in the studio in May of this year, and I'm almost done with my second record. I would like to put out some of those songs, here this fall. Maybe an EP or something. But everybody that on the team is kind of pushing. Since we already put out my first album this year, they want to put the album out next year. So we'll get overruled and we'll have to wait on putting it out. But I'm excited to share it. It's definitely I started in kind of this singer-songwriter blues thing early on when I was working on songs, and then changed over to kind of I leaned into the country side of things, and this album is definitely rock leaning. We took a lot of inspiration from the Rolling Stones and the band self-titled album, and just really leaned into. I wanted to produce an album for myself, so that's kind of where I just got the band that I'd been touring with, and I said, "Hey, we're gonna jump in the studio and just do what we do on the road," and that's what we did. So I'm excited to put this new album out.
I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah.
You're going to make sure that we get it at K-Pig, right?
I'll send you a copy.
All right, JD. It has been my pleasure to sit down with you and chat a little bit. If our listeners wanted to find you, how would they do that?
Best place would be through, if they want to just message me directly. I handle everything through Instagram.
Okay.
Just JD Clayton Official. You can find everything is marked by JD Clayton Official. So my website, social media, I handle everything. So if they want to reach out, it's me talking to you.
But that's how you build things, isn't it? And
Yeah,
that's nice
right.
that you're taking the time to do that for the folks that are listening to you.
Well, I love people, and I love this business because it's one of the biggest. It's the people business. That's what we do. We make art, and then we share it as a service, and try to help people that are having a rough day have a better day, and people that are having a great day, help them have a party, I guess.
Right. JD Clayton, you're doing a good job at it. Thanks for sitting down with the pig.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.